Hi guys, good morning. So today we are going to see in the friction topic, explain angle of friction. The same question can also be asked as define angle of friction and show that mu suffix s is equal to tan theta. Mu suffix s, mu means coefficient of friction. Suffix s means coefficient of static friction is equal to tan theta. Coefficient of static friction is equal to tan theta. You have to prove. Suppose if they ask generally explain angle of friction, also the same question. Now I am going to tell you the answer. For both the questions the answer is same. Listen carefully. So you are considering a horizontal surface. You are placing a block. You are placing a block on the horizontal surface. Suppose m is the mass of the body. M is the mass of the body. M is the mass of the body. So in the ground gravity acts. So mass multiplied by gravity is called weight. The weight acts vertically downwards. Weight acts vertically downwards. So you know Newton's third law of motion, to every action there is equal and opposite reaction. So weight is the force which acts vertically downwards. It implies action. So the reaction is normal reaction. So opposite to the weight, reaction is there. Why we are saying normal reaction? Normal means perpendicular. Perpendicular means normal reaction is perpendicular to the frictional perpendicular to the frictional force and also to the plane. Perpendicular means 90 degree. For this horizontal plane, it is perpendicular. So that is why we are calling normal reaction. So normal means, once again I am repeating, perpendicular. So opposite to the weight, the reaction is normal reaction. So against the weight, what is the opposite force acting? The opposite force acting is called normal reaction. So already I have explained about the normal reaction. So R is the normal reaction. Here OP mentions the frictional force, because when you apply the external forces, even you apply the external forces, the block is not moving, it is at rest. So in between the two surfaces, the frictional force acting between the two surfaces when they are at rest is called static friction. So that is why we are mentioning Fs. Fs means force of static friction. So it is mentioned by OP. OP means Fs. So OQ is the resultant. For what it is resultant? Resultant of force of static friction, and normal reaction. For both these items, it is a resultant. So resultant of force of static friction and normal reaction. OQ is the resultant. So what do you mean by angle of friction? The angle made by the resultant of, this is called resultant. For what it is resultant? Force of static friction and normal reaction. For these two vectors, it is resultant. Resultant means net value. Net value of OP and OR, it is mentioned by OQ. The angle made by the resultant of force of static friction and normal reaction with the normal reaction. That means OQ, the line OQ made angle with the OR. So the resultant OQ made angle with the OR. How much angle it creates? This is called the angle of friction. This is the definition for angle of friction. The angle made by the resultant. For what it is resultant? The resultant of force of static friction and normal reaction with the normal reaction. So the OQ line make the angle with the normal reaction is called angle of friction. That is called, theta is called angle of friction. So how to derive this from this diagram? I will tell you one by one. Here you see the diagram. In this diagram you take tan theta. In this diagram you take tan theta. You know, in the mathematics, tan means opposite side by adjacent side. So here tan theta means what is opposite side? QR is the opposite side. QR divided by adjacent side is OR. OR is nothing but reaction R. OR is simply you can write reaction R. So QR by OR. QR means what is QR? QR is, here you see, QR is parallel to OP. QR is parallel to OP. What is OP? Frictional force Fs. So QR means nothing but Fs, force of static friction. QR means it is parallel to OP. OP means what? Fs. OP means what? Force of static friction. So QR means what we are writing? Fs. They are parallel, so both are same. These two sides are same. So what we are writing? Fs by OR means R. So tan theta is equal to Fs by R. You give equation. Already we know from the definition of coefficient of friction, from the definition of coefficient of static friction, mu is equal to Fs by R. From the definition we know. We know. By comparing equations 1 and 2, what we get? Mu is equal to Fs by R. So instead of Fs by R, we can write tan theta is equal to mu s. Otherwise, we can also write mu s is equal to tan theta. Both are same. Theta is called angle of friction. So finally, we can write theta is equal to tan inverse of mu s. You can write like this also. So we got the last equation. Otherwise, you can write mu s equal to tan theta also. Both are same. If you want angle of friction, you can write like this. If you want coefficient of static friction, you can write like this. Mu is equal to tan theta or theta equal to tan inverse of mu s. Both are same. So we have derived the equation. This is how we are deriving angle of friction. Mu s is equal to tan theta. Coefficient of static friction is equal to tangent of angle of friction. Coefficient of static friction means mu s. Tangent of angle of friction tan theta. So mu s is equal to tan theta. This is how we are proving angle of friction concept. So the next topic we are going to see in the friction is explain angle of repose. Otherwise it may also be called as define angle of repose and derive alpha is equal to tan inverse of mu s. Angle of repose is mentioned by the symbol alpha. So what is the difference between theta and alpha? What is the difference between theta and alpha? Theta is called angle of inclination. Alpha is called angle of repose. When theta turns into alpha, the angle of inclination itself is called as angle of repose. When? That I will explain you. Here, you see, it is the inclined plane. So theta is the angle of inclination. Some block is placed on the inclined plane. M is the mass of the body. So how much angle here it creates in the inclination? The same angle is formed here also. If it is theta, the mg, weight of the body, is resolved. That means divided into two components, mg cos theta and mg sin theta, as per the concept of resolution of vectors. So it is mg cos theta, it is mg sin theta. The mg cos theta is balanced by the normal reaction. Already you know this concept. And mg sin theta is balanced by the frictional force which acts opposite to the mg sin theta. If the block is in equilibrium condition, that means it is not sliding down. It is only just on the inclined plane. So when R is balanced by mg cos theta, when mg sin theta is balanced by Fs, the block is in equilibrium position, it will not move. Suppose if you increase the angle of inclination little bit, what happens? If you increase theta, in turn the mg sin theta also will increase. In turn the frictional force also will increase. Because to every action there is equal and opposite reaction. If it increases, it will also increase. But up to particular maximum value only it will increase. If it exceeds the limiting friction, that means maximum value of static friction is called limiting friction. If it exceeds the limiting friction, what happens? The body begins to slide down. So when you arise the inclined plane to some angle of inclination. For that particular angle of inclination, the block begins to slide down. So what is the definition of angle of repose? The angle at which the body just about to slide down in the inclined plane. The angle at which the body just about to slide down is called angle of inclination. The particular angle of inclination is called angle of repose. So when it is just about to slide down, that angle of inclination itself is termed as angle of repose. The angle of inclination is itself called as angle of repose. Are you able to follow or not? So at particular angle of inclination only, the block begins to slide down, move down. At what angle it begins to slide down, that angle is called angle of repose. So we have to derive from this inclined plane diagram, alpha is equal to tan inverse of mu s. How to derive? You know, from the diagram, in the equilibrium condition, R is balanced by mg cos theta, you know. And also, Fs is balanced by mg sin theta, you know. When the body just about to slide down, what happens? The theta turns into alpha. Just now I told you. So if you substitute instead of theta, if you substitute alpha, the two equations becomes R is equal to mg cos alpha. Mg cos alpha. Equation 1. Fs is equal to mg sin alpha. Equation 2. You can write in any order, no problem. The only thing is you remember the concept. Now, already you know force of static friction, the ratio of force of static friction, the ratio of force of static friction and normal reaction is called coefficient of static friction. You know from the previous syllabus. That means coefficient of static friction means mu s, force of static friction means Fs, normal reaction means R. So mu s is equal to Fs by R, you know equation. So here in equation number 3, you just mentioned it, equation number 3. Suppose I want to divide equation 2 by 1. What happens? Left side Fs by 1 means R. Mg sin alpha by mg cos alpha. What happens here? Mg gets cancelled. Sin by cos, you know tan alpha. Fs by R, it is nothing but mu s. From the equation 3, Fs by R, it is nothing but mu s. So mu s is equal to tan alpha. Otherwise, tan alpha is equal to mu s. Alpha is equal to tan. If it comes that side, tan inverse of mu s. So we got the final expression. So angle of repose means at particular angle only, the body will just about to slide down. That angle is called, for which angle? For what angle? It begins to slide down. That angle of inclination is called angle of repose. So the topic is over. Thank you.